When we come back, we are going to introduce you to a very brave young man. You will not want to miss this. 8-year-old Mikey Poulli wants to play football for a living. He's on the cusp of representing his country. Big problem is, he's blind. The story today is both desperately sad, but also enormously inspiring. Let me introduce you to Mikey Poulli, aged 8, Arsenal fan, training with England at under-13 level. What makes this young man special is that, unfortunately, he has developed a disease of the retina, which means that he's now blind. Joins us with his dad, John, to talk further about this. How are you both, John, first of all? Mikey, before your dad says anything, how are you?
Good.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good, thanks, John. I've just given a brief description of what's happened and how this is, I imagine when it was first diagnosed, devastated both yours and Mikey's life. Fill in the gaps for us.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a shock to my wife and I and our whole family. I mean, it's not something we ever expected. I mean, we don't have any visual issues in our history of our family, so it was very difficult to come to terms with. Still dealing with it in a way, which is why the original kind of video on Twitter that I sent out happened. It was kind of an acceptance thing of the situation. I didn't expect it to take off the way it did, but when Mikey was diagnosed, obviously it was a shock, and he literally lost his vision from diagnosis to complete blindness in about a year and a half. I mean, he had near perfect vision up to about six and a half years old. We took him for a random eye test, not thinking that there was anything wrong with him. It was literally just a random eye test like any parent would do for their child. They noticed something wasn't quite right, and within a few months he received the diagnosis. And even at that point which he received the diagnosis, he still had very good vision. I mean, he was still reading, writing, playing football at his local club. And then soon after that diagnosis, it kind of just snowballed. And like I said, he lost his vision in about a year and a half to complete blindness. But as hard as it was to deal with as parents and the family, Mikey never stopped. He always wanted to play football. Throughout the whole kind of transition and deterioration of his vision, he never ever gave up, and he was always happy. All he wanted to do was play football. So he's a real testament to anyone out there who has a dream and wants to follow it, that nothing should ever stop them from following that dream.
I mean, I can imagine having a son myself, John. I don't know how you feel, but it must have been devastating for you, the family. But I'm just looking at that cheeky little face there sitting beside you. And
I thought you meant me.
Don't be silly.
Absolutely not.
Don't be silly. And I'm just thinking, if you were looking for strength, surely Mikey's attitude must have given you that, because he was a young man that was suffering.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we look at him, not just then, but we look at him even now, every day, and we draw strength from it, and he pulls us through this situation himself, which is remarkable because he's the one, obviously, that's gone through this. So he's a real kind of strong lad that, you know, you won't find. I mean, there are obviously other children out there and other families who have gone through similar or worse things, but, you know, from a personal perspective, he's our rock, and he really pulls everyone through this.
Are you enjoying your football, Mikey?
Yeah, a lot.
And England ambitions, we're told you can't yet play because you have to be 13, but that has to be an objective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's your position, Mikey? What position do you play?
Up front.
Ah, yes, proper player, as I would say.
Good
proper
lad.
player, goal scorer.
That's where all the glory is.
And I'm guessing your favourite player must be an Arsenal frontman then. Who is it?
Lacazette.
Yeah. Not Aubameyang, no?
No.
He won't like that.
He says Lacazette. He's got a few. Sometimes he chops and changes them, but, you know, recently it's been more Lacazette. It has fluctuated between Lacazette and Aubameyang, even Ozil, Torreira now, Socrates. So he's got a few.
Look, as inspiring as this is, John, the reason that you're with us is that we're looking for someone to help, aren't we? We need, if there's somebody somewhere watching that can, we need to know what the answer to Mikey's problem is. Do you maintain hope that there is one?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I've been really pushing Mikey's story out there, I mean, the initial reason I posted the video wasn't to really raise awareness. Like I said, it was more an acceptance thing, and just anyone out there willing to see the video, that this is my son and he's amazing, although he's gone through such adversity. But once I saw the reaction, the overwhelming reaction on social media, I thought I'm going to use everything I can in my power to use social media and media in general to push his story out there in hope that someone can come forward with a cure or treatment or anything that can help us, because he's only been blind since he was about 7, so it's still quite fresh. It's only been about a year since he's been completely blind. So it's, as you can imagine, we're still really coming to terms with it. And football has been a therapy for Mikey and us as a family. Fantastic. You know, it truly has been a therapy, and I don't say that lightly. I mean, it's been an unbelievable story and journey that football has actually pulled us through this as well, which, you know, is a great story in itself. But ultimately, all this raising awareness and pushing Mikey's story out there is in hope that somebody somewhere in the world can come forward and say, look, I've got something that can help potentially, and take us through that with them. I mean, we're really hoping that something happens from all of this attention.
Short-term objective, John, we need to get Mikey along to Arsenal. We need him to be a matchday mascot, minimum.
Yes.
And
Minimum.
If I can give you any
He's
advice...
wearing his Arsenal top, by the way. I think...
Has he?
There you go.
Yes.
I was just going to say, Mikey, if I can give you any short-term advice, perhaps with the power in North London having shifted to Tottenham, maybe you should be thinking about becoming a Tottenham fan?
No way.
No.
Good answer, Mikey. Good answer.
There's been no power shift at all. I don't know where you got that from.
John, good luck to you both. Mikey, thanks for coming and talking to me and Andy today. We do wish you well.
Yes.
And this is a story we're going to follow. John, do what we can.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate
thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Just extraordinary, isn't it? It's amazing when you lose one sight, how the others become,
so they say, yeah.
So more important. Look at the touch.
I think what's more amazing that, as Dad said, it's only 12 months since he lost his sight, and the rehabilitation, the determination that he shows here, to be able to have mastered that in such a short time, in such a short age. Young age.
Many
7?
things that we like about football, but that's one that he can get the inspiration from it that's required to keep him going.
Yeah,
that young
absolutely.
man. Andy, 8 years old, Mikey Poulli. He's on the cusp of representing his country, England. Problem he's got is that he's got a degenerative eye disease. He's now blind.
We look at him, not just then, but we look at him even now, every day, and we draw strength from it, and he pulls us through this situation himself. But once I saw the reaction, the overwhelming reaction on social media, I thought I'm going to use everything I can in my power to use social media and media in general to push his story out there in hope that someone can come forward with a cure or treatment or anything that can help us.
He is such a charmer, young Mikey. Yeah. I spoke to his dad after the show last week. He said, you know, the one thing that he really wanted was for his hero to add a piece of commentary to some of the football that he was playing in those little clips. So we did.
Pleased to help him.
Just that. Here it is.
Oh, look at the way young Mikey Poulli just has total control of the football. And look at him when he gets an opportunity. Oh, yeah, beauty. What a hit, son. What a hit.
Happy to oblige, Mickey.
That was fabulous.
Yeah.
And obviously, modern technology meant that within moments of you recording that, Mikey was receiving those same pictures.
Excellent.
And this is what he did when he was played that tape for the first time.
Oh, look at the way young Mikey Poulli just has total control of the football. And look at him when he gets an opportunity. Oh, yeah, beauty. What a hit, son. What a hit.
Oh, yeah, beauty! What a hit, son! What a hit!
He's better than me. He's better than me.
It's brilliant.
He's good, very good.
Very grateful to you.
Well, listen,
Thank you.
Pleasure. He's a lovely lad. And his dad's top man as well.
Absolutely. And the problem they've got, if you weren't with us last week, he got to the age of 6, young Mikey, then he got this degenerative disease in the retina. He's now blind, and they're doing everything and more they can to find a cure. Anybody that, if you're watching anywhere in the world, feels you can help, do please get in touch with us.
Absolutely.
We'd love that.